Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Here we are once again on the Daily Huddle for a day known as Health and Wellness Wednesdays. I'm your host, Chase Steele Gray. And, you know, there are a lot of things going on in the world. And these things, in my personal opinion, are all predicated on one thing, and that is health. How healthy are we? How healthy do we want to be? How much information? Let me get this one lock. Okay. Woo. Sometimes that one lock destroys your whole life. Um, there's so many things going on in the world, and if we're not healthy or we're not aware of what could make us healthy, my goodness, what can we do? We can't do anything if we're not healthy, right? Or um, existing in a state of wellness, right? So there are a lot of things happening, a lot of things. It's just amazing, and I kind of think that we are finally, maybe understanding that our wellness is so important that all these companies and all these things are happening around us really quickly, right? Things that have to do with holistic health, gut health, uh, digital detoxing, wellness programs, sleep health, sustainability, and ethical consumption. All these things, right? Even wellness tourism, where people are taking trips where they can be healthier on their trip. So they're curating things so that when they go away, they're near spas, they're near places with proper drinking water, they're with places with saunas and massage therapists and so on and so forth. So, excuse me, I should not have come here without water today. Um, I want to go over some of the things that are going on. And I mean, I'm completely fascinated with it. I have copious notes in front of me to talk about some things. But it's interesting because 2024 brought so much awareness about health, about things that we do as humans, things that we've already been speaking about. Somehow it brought a heightened awareness to what was going on. When you think about it, and you think about the consumption of things that have to do with wellness, right? We're talking about a multi-trillion dollar industry, okay? Trillion dollar industry. I say that to you, and it's not something that you don't already know, but somehow with the global warming attention, with the changing and all sorts of things around the world, now we are finally saying, okay, what can we do to make ourselves feel better? What things can we bring into the fold? Um, there are two apps. I don't know if everyone is familiar with them. One is called Zoe and one is called Noom. These are apps that they create personalized um, programs for people, right? When I say programs for people, I mean the way that you eat, the way you sleep. They track the things that are going on around you, and they're able to give you even uh, a kind of a detailed nutritional way of eating if you should so desire. Now, I wrote this quote that I got in my research, and the quote is, "We need to stop fishing people out of the river and go upstream and see why they are falling in." Isn't that an interesting quote? So, in other words, why don't we just make people better and get them more in a preventative state before we actually have to go and save them, right? Let's do some preventative measures now while people are relatively healthy, right? Because many people are not healthy in this particular moment, right? That quote was amazing to me. So, what's happening now is that they are putting together all these kind of analyses for better health, but more preventative than before. Like I said, if we could prevent things or identify risks now, then I think less people would get sick. less people will get diseases, so on and so forth. So through my research, um, I'm looking at a lot of things here, and what I found was what is really trending now is platforms to connect physical therapists to clients, right? So people are, or companies will say, are realizing that people want to take their well-being into their own hands more. They want to know what to do so that they don't specifically have to go to all these doctors and all these appointments and so on and so forth. So there are platforms that are being built, or they're already being built, or they're already built, I'm sorry, that allow us to interface with this information in a really wide, stretched way. Okay. So it's interesting because, and of course, you know, I was going to bring this up in some way, shape, or form. There are now these AI generated personal coaches, therapists, and one might say to oneself, well, how much can I get from this AI therapist or this AI nutritionalist? I would say the same thing. But what's happening now is something really fascinating. They're now, just to test it out, putting together actual human beings with ChatGPT to see the range of difference in let's say uh, from a therapy perspective. There's a woman's name. I want to make sure I say her name. Stina Sanders. This is a very interesting thing, right? So Stina Sanders did this experiment, and they wanted to talk about. Um, I believe this particular thing was about relationships, and someone had a question about relationships, and they put Stina Sanders, who's a therapist, with the ChatGPT. And what was fascinating about it was that their info or their answers were so close. Now, we're not talking about Chat GPT, you know, did research on Stina Saunders. No, didn't know anything about her, nothing. They just threw her into a thing and said, hey, this is the problem. What do you think, Stina? And then Chat GPT went, and they were really, really close. Obviously, the only thing that lacks each and every time we speak about AI interacting with people, especially with health and wellness, is the nuances, right? The empathy, the fact that there's no presence of a human being. Are we ready for there to be not that person in front of us that could possibly put their hand on our back or possibly say something to us in a way where we go, oh, right, okay, I understand that? Or is it just chopping, robotic kind of flow that's going? This is a really, really big trend right now. And of all the research that I've been doing, um, they are talking about the AI kind of buffer or bridging the gap because there are some things that it's great for. For example, the price will come way down if you're connecting with an AI therapist. Number two, there won't be waiting. You'll have a time and it'll happen when you want it to happen. And then there are these generated in between things that happen where there's in between support. So let's say you have a specific, I don't know, topic that you're talking about with your therapist, so on and so forth. The AI is able to take in all the things that were said and connect them so that if you have some support questions in between, they can also answer you. I thought that was really, really interesting. Um, I read something that said 2025 will be the year of hydration. I thought that was very, very interesting because the hydration problem that we're having is actually bigger than we all think because of a simple reason, which is everyone's not drinking enough water. Still to this day, we've spoken about this for years. And as a car not having the right gas or not having the right oil, the system starts to break down in different ways laterally just because of hydration. Isn't that fascinating? Right? Many of the things that we are dealing with have simple um, answers, but one of them that we really need to take heed of is water, 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 water. Isn't that amazing? All the study that I do all the time, I have all these points about water, and so what's happening now is that they're looking to people to not only drink more water, but choose filtered water, choose more electrolyte water, choose less carbonation in general, right? These are trends that are happening. There's some trend, some think it's on TikTok. It's like hashtag water talk or something like that. All these people are getting together and kind of, we'll say, lifting the weight together, right? So me telling you that today, maybe that's going to inspire you to drink some more water, and the next person and the next person. But yes, definitely the year of hydration. Also, in my notes, collagen drinks, gut health drinks, booze alternatives, adaptogenic libations, and when you think about all this, just to be very practical, where are all these things going to fit? All these new products. We go to supermarkets. There's a gazillion products everywhere. They're now being challenged to: do we take away some of the products to put some of these products, or now do we have to have even more things? This is something that's trending right now because if you ask yourself, well, if I take away the bad things and put the good things, we should be good, right? However, we still have a large amount of people, specifically in our country, that are relying so much on processed foods and not wanting to come over to the other side. They want to stay here. They want to stay right here. This is good. I like this. This is where I'm at. I like my food, right? So we are being encouraged to look at the labels more, to do research on things that may be a little bit better for us. All these things are popping up. The two major themes that I saw in my deep research of this, which is continual, is hydration and longevity. Those are the two words I kept seeing all the time, right? There's a guy that has a Netflix documentary. His name is Brian Johnson. And I have to watch this right away. I saw this a few days ago. Um, it's called Don't Die, The Man Who Wants to Live Forever. So this guy on Netflix has this documentary, and he has this commitment to use all the scientific facts and all the things that are going on to live longer. I believe he's 47. I think, yes, 47. And they're saying that his methods are really extreme. Like the average person is probably not going to do what he's doing. However, he's doing it. It's kind of like a reverse supersize me, right? Morgan Spurlock was eating McDonald's every day for 30 days. This guy is doing all the good stuff he can do, and he wants to show if it's going to make him younger or not. So check that out. And Don't Die, the man who wants to live forever. And also, in my research, I came across something that I thought was really interesting, and I want to know how you guys feel about it. And this is neurocosmetics. There are cosmetics that are on the market now and some coming where before we're thinking about cosmetics for aesthetic reasons, right? To have smoother skin, to have more vibrant skin, to have a skin that is glowing. Now there are products that are coming and some that are already here that deal with what's happening inside, right? By putting it on your face, if you can imagine that, right? When I say that, I learned a new word that I was so tickled when I saw this word. The word is nootropic, right? Nootropic ingredients. Check that out. Write that down if you can. Nootropic ingredients. And what it is um, it's a product that it can enhance your cognitive functions, your memory, your learning, your attention within the aesthetic product as well. And I at first thought about it and I said, this is going to upset some people because they're going to say, now this is going to affect me inside. Well, what if I don't want that? What if I just want the regular, product or so on and so forth? So if you can imagine that, I mean, if you could put something on your body that would boost your serotonin and your cortisol, would you do it? These are the things that are coming out, right? We talk about um, serotonin and cortisol all the time, right? Obviously, they're very important. But because our body creates some of our own serotonin, right, as well, and the cortisol that we use from the outside in, many times people can go a little too far with it. Let's just be honest, right? If it works for you and you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it, we don't know. Everybody's different. But in general, would you use a product that topically went on your body and somehow was changing your serotonin or cortisol levels? Just ask yourself that. Would you do that? This is what's on the way, somewhat here already. And of course, we have to all be careful. We have to study the products, read the labels, so on and so forth. So I just wanted to put that out there. Also, as it relates to people who are literally going to do things aesthetic to their body, like fillers and Botox, there's this new wave of things coming out, and it's again, everything is preventative and regenerative, right? We're talking about healthy cell growth. These are the products that are coming out. We're kind of like going backwards a little bit and saying, let's talk about the cells. Let's talk about how we can grow the cells and make them better, right? The beginning of all of everything, right? Um, when we talk about health, not a lot of people are talking about mitochondria. Not a lot, right? The people who know about it, that say that word and talk about cell growth or regenerative practices, they know, and they know it's really, really important. These are new products that are actually going right to that and saying, if you take this, this is what's going to happen, or this is what we hope is going to happen for you. So I wanted to make you aware of that. And the thing is that where we are right now, as it relates to your particular health or what you're doing for you, are we ready? And I'm asking you a question. Are we ready to let things like AI and things that are connected to AI span over everything? Right? This is what the new trends are happening, or what's happening with the new trends. Let AI tell you what to do, what to put into your body, and then have less of the actual humans around you. I don't know how you feel about that. For me, I enjoy the interaction between people, and I think it's really great that we go and speak with professionals who have been practicing for a long time. That operative word is practicing. I love when people say that, like, I'm practicing medicine. Well, if a person is practicing medicine, that means there's some areas that are a little gray that we might not know about all the time as it relates to, brain or heart or respiratory systems, so on and so forth. I am reading copious amounts of information about the body all the time. And I keep coming back to the same things over and over and over again. As I said in the beginning of the presentation, right? Hydration, right? Hydration, greens, colors, plants. And this plant revolution is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I ask you, somebody who wants to chime in, based on what I've said so far, how is the new generation, or especially in 2025, because we're about to ramp up, of this new health way, or this more concentrating on certain things as hydration and all sorts of plant-based eating affecting you, or will it affect you? Anyone chime in? Do, do,
Chase,
do.
Would you just rephrase that question again for a moment?
Yes, sir.
I want to make sure I got it right.
Yes, sir. My question is, with all the information, and I could give you another hour of information of stuff that I've researched, how is this particular time, where those things I just said, AI and all the things that are coming in, is it affecting you? Are you changing the way that you look at things? Is the plant-based revolution getting your attention? Or are you more stuck in what you like to eat, and you're going to ride this puppy out into the sunset?
Well, you know something? I'm a little concerned about some of the digital foods and all the stuff that they created.
Right,
I got to be really honest about that.
right,
Um, in terms of the uses of AI and whatnot, I believe like anything, it's going to be a two-edged sword. It's going to have some tremendous advantages and some very, very terrible disadvantages.
Yes, sir.
And it's
It
going
is.
to be the way I definitely don't think it makes sense for us to put our head down in the ground like an ostrich and act like it's just not going to affect us, because it is in every way. So I think we should learn as much as we can about it and find the most effective ways and useful ways to use it that really, really fit in with our own what is it? Our own values and things like that. I think we shouldn't ignore it. We should learn what we can do by it. But I'm listening. I'm embracing some things, and other things I've got some real questions about.
Excellent, excellent.
Hmm.
And I'm constantly, looking at them. So
Hmm.
thank you for that comment. I'm always going to bring back new information. I am
Hmm.
always going to bring back new information because I look at it
Thank you for
every day.
that.
Every
Thank
day.
you for that. Yeah.
Um, um, Thank you for your question or your answer. I appreciate it. Virtue says, what was the name? Newer something. Tried to write it down. Oh, you're talking about the new tropic? Is that what you were looking for? Let me know if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, hi Chase. Good
Hi,
topic this
how
morning.
are you?
Anything with
Yes.
help is interesting me. You were saying something about neuros something.
Oh, so yeah, I was talking about neurocosmetics, but I was also saying that there was a
Right.
book
Okay.
that I stumbled upon called New Tropic, Nootropic, New
You
Tropic ingredients. And I had never heard that before. And these are ingredients that enhance cognitive functions within the product, which is very
right.
interesting to me that something would come out like that. And again, listen, we can't put all of our stake in it because we're still in the infantry stages. We're not saying, oh, this is working. Let's all get this and put it on our body. They're saying we're concentrating on the things that really make sense to us, like cognitive functions that we want to be better at, right? And there was also something that I came upon that I thought was really far-reaching, was that they have these biohackers that are looking to, for lack of a better term, cheat the passage of time, and they're looking at products that will somehow attempt to eradicate clinical depression. That got my attention right away. I'm like, could there be something that goes into someone's body that allows them to be more in the present and let go of some things that happened years ago? That's fascinating to me. If that could happen, my my trepidation of that is, if anything has the power to do that, how, in any way, shape, or form, could it not negatively affect our system? What is it that's making that turn around? If it exists, hey, if they test it out and they think it works, but that really pulled me to the side because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that. So this is what's going on right now. I brought you just a handful of things that are going
Yeah.
on for 2025. They're happening, like they're on the way right now. And I'm a purist as it relates to human interaction and interpersonal communication. Things that are going on, they're going on. Like, I'm not really one of those people that's like, what do we do to stop this? It's like, well, if it took you all these years through now, are we gonna stop it like that? Probably not. And there's gonna be some side effects to that, as there are with everything, right? From my personal opinion or perspective, what we're doing right now, sharing this information and all of this connection and information and words and things that's the thing that's going to save us, because we're all going to be able to walk together with some of the answers and connect with each other and say, well, that's not working for me. Is it working for you? And this might work for all of us. Let's do this, so on and so forth. So, you know, we're we're at a serious wave of personal therapists, um, uh, the well, therapists in general, but weight training experts and all these people that are doing things to rush all this information to us, but we still have to take it and we still have to put it into play outside of our work lives, our personal lives, our extra curricular things. And how important is it for us? That's the question, right? How important is it for us to test these things with a literally several $1 trillion industry, the things are just all coming out. How do we make the right decisions? That's the question.
You know,
And
Chase, it reminds me of the movie that I love this movie with Bradley Cooper, Limitless.
yes, that's a great film. Yeah,
Yeah, man. It
great
looks
film.
like they're going in that direction, bro.
Right, exactly. And that's a great thing to bring up. I'm glad you brought that up. Can we ingest a pill? Can we put something in our body that makes us, move a little faster, or, all the things that are going on that enhance our behavior? Then what does that say about us for the future? Are we all going to be enhanced? We're all just going to rise up and be these super beings, and we don't have to work out anymore, and we don't have to worry about what we put in our body? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen that way. But you know what? With all this conversation and all these stats and all this information, we have to ask ourselves what really takes the place of putting great things in our body: water, plants, non-processed things. What takes the place of that? I mean, really, what takes the place of that? It's like if I could make a connection with photography. I'm a photographer. I have 20, 30, 40 manual cameras. I've amassed them over time. That manual camera, when you put it in your hand and you go like this and you go and you hear that sound, that tactile vibe, it's you can't match that. When I pick up my digital camera and I have 50 different decisions I can make that might be good, that might make the picture great, it's exhausting at a certain point. You just want to remember, or you just want to take this picture and make a memory. I make that example because with our bodies, we have the same information that's always been there all this time, right? More water, more greens, less food putting on our body that's not organic, that's from something else that could have put chemicals in our body that we don't need. It's all the same thing, right? So I urge you to make a choice for you, but stick to the basics. Stick to the basics, right? Watch nature. Nature gets it right over and over and over and over again. We go through the seasons and nature gets it right. So wouldn't that be so clear for us to ingest the thing that makes it through all the seasons? That just makes sense to me, right? So as we always say here, work on eating plant-based a little bit more. I challenge all of you to take some time right away in the next week. Do the research that I've researched about the things that are coming up, the health trends and so on and so forth, which some of them may be great for you. No disrespect to anyone. However, ask yourself, how much can you stick to the basics? Drink a copious amount of water this week. Eat, the study I looked at, or there was a couple studies I looked at, it said eat 10 plants a week. And I thought, 10 plants a week. Interesting, like for it to say it that way. But if you weren't eating any spinach or having any chickpeas last week, or tomatoes or beets or prunes or oranges, this week, eat all that stuff. And ask yourself, how do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you feel more fluid? Do you feel like you can run faster? Do you feel like your walk was lighter? Do you feel like you were nicer with people this week because you put all these great things in your body? I'm just asking you the question, right? Because it can be done by all of us. It's a little bit of a sacrifice, but I believe that all of us are here and we all connect to all of us. So we're essentially we're one. And if we all keep making good habits, I believe we can push away all the things that are really killing us overall in the world. Does anyone else have any comment before we take this down the road? What a quick one this was. Is someone talking right now that I hear lowly? Oh, maybe I'm hearing a background voice. I feel like someone's trying to talk, but I don't hear them all the way. Kurt, you have the best faces today. Do you have anything to say? I love watching your faces. You look like you're about to say something.
Well, I mean, like when you talk about the coaches and the AI, it just seems like, it just tells me I'm thinking we'll expect that the coaches will have to adopt the AI and make it part of their regiment and ask, they may have some clients that want to touch the AI and some that don't. And for those that do, they maybe want to do a lot or a little. I know myself personally, I'm way behind on the implementation on AI. I try to keep up on the conversation, what people are saying and the reviews
Right.
and all the background to it. But in terms of
Right.
actually clicking and typing in, I don't do that. And,
Mhm.
and I'm hearing from you that, we're not going to get away from the authentic, like getting our nutrition, what we need from how Mother Nature provides. And
Yeah.
then, in terms of interaction, we're never going to get away from like exchanging here, or even making sure we get a good dose of in person where we can hug people tactily and
Yeah.
such like that. So that's interesting how we're getting a new variety of new mixture, and new recipes of how life happens. And so thanks for what you provided today. It's all good thinking.
I appreciate it. I enjoy this. I enjoy deep diving into the information. I do it every day. Every day I'm researching something. I have a new book about plants that teaches you how to do all these things with your face and with your hair, all from nature. All from nature. How can that go wrong? Nature is around us everywhere. It always survives. It's incredible. So, thank you for your comments. I appreciate you. Always love seeing you, man. Um, you know, we're going to wind down now, unless anyone else has any other comments. But I would um, like to implore all of you to take the information in that I've given today and go back and rewatch it if you can. But overall, this is happening. AI is here and it's going to do some things, but we don't always have to engage with it, right? I'm not saying you're going to win over the AI because it's already here, it's already spreading its wings, but nothing will take the place of human interaction. The tactile nature of two human beings sharing with each other, as Kurt was saying, hugging or a hand on the back or bringing somebody a bowl of fruit to their home and a nice, beautiful plant. These things are staples. They're so important for health and wellness together as a duo. And I didn't come here today to talk down that particular AI thing. I'm just giving you the information. The trends that I'm reading about are off the meter. Everybody's just trying to, not trying. Everyone is incorporating this new. You know what? Let's let this thing tell you what you need to do. And like I said, in that situation where the woman faced off with the chat GPT, it was so close. The information was close. Why was it close? She didn't put the information into GPT, but somehow it came out as, yeah, that's what I would have done too. Okay, yeah, all right, great. And they moved on. So I encourage you to stay connected to humans and information that is time tested, that hasn't gone anywhere. It's the same information. If you've never used it, well, that's on you. But if you decide to use it, now is a great time to use it, right? The actual factual pieces of our life where we can put them together and decrease our blood pressure, take our weight down, make our mind lighter through reading, through writing, through meditation. I just began the Artist Way again. We spoke about that on my fourth day into the Artist Way, getting up and dumping down stuff out of your mind in the morning so that you can be freer and lighter during the day. All these things are accessible to all of us, right? So I'm just here as a vehicle just to remind you, because I love you guys and you guys are important to me. And I give the same information to myself. I would never say something to you that I'm not putting into practice. So thank you all for being here today. It's been a pleasure, as it always is. And of course, we end with our tenets because the tenets are quite interestingly just like what I was just talking about. It just all weaves together every time, right? Of course, please love more. Please, we need love right now. I say that with so much depth. Um, please let us laugh out loud. Put yourselves around some people who make you laugh. Go online, whatever you need to do, right? Move your body. Move your body more than you did yesterday. If you walked a mile, walk a mile and a half today, right? Put your car somewhere and walk away and come back, right? Please also just give something of yourself to someone, right? Something, a kind word, a gift certificate somewhere to their favorite restaurant. Go and help them bring their stuff inside. Whatever, do something of value for another person outside of yourself, because we're in that place right now where certain people don't feel like they matter anymore. So, very important. Sleeping. We always talk about the sleep, right? More sleep than you've ever had before. I say this to myself every day because I'm now coming back into a longer sleep pattern. And I'm telling you, it feels different. It feels really, really different. Plant-based, please give that a shot. I said that earlier. Just give it a shot, right? 2 days this week, eat plants all day. Water, plants, that's it. Check it out and see what you can do. And lastly, please check yourself before you wreck yourself and stress less. That is really, really important. I appreciate you guys. I love you more than anything. And I will see you next week or tomorrow. Be well.
Thank you, Chase.